Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Season 2, Episode 12 of Pushing Daisies. Episode was fine. Got a little bit more exposition.
I think I like this episode.
The only thing that hurts this episode is the fact that we are getting closer and closer to its ultimate end, and they're not really doing anything to wrap it.
Well, I tried to put that aside, but I also kind of liked how we are calling back to things, like David Arquette is back again, and Simone is back again, and stuff like that, so we kind of was like, okay, cool, like, we're not just going to peter out and end as if we're saving that stuff for later, like we're actually using it now, so I'm like, there you go.
But it just felt like it was being used like you would use something normally in a show normally.
Yes, there was no like, here's our final send-off to the David Arquette character.
We're bringing back these characters just for this one time only. Goodbye, everybody.
Right. It isn't like, because how this show should end, which it won't end on, is one like epic case where every clue leads them back to somebody who was somehow involved in something, and we hear about what's happened since last we saw them or some weird thing like that.
We've got no clues, but it smells like blah blah. Get the smeller.
No,
they've got these killer dogs. Click click.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He would like already be there. She would like already be there.
Yeah.
They'd already be like involved, and there'd be some dumb thing of like, well, I needed a lot of cheese, and then Aunt Viv would be like, well, I have a lot of cheese, and then there'd be some stupid, and it would all somehow tie together, and they would all end up at the end doing something.
I picture as David Arquette's character using the cheese to bait a bunch of mice, and he makes like a Helm's Deep scene with mice, and then Ned touches all of them to take over some rival bakery shop.
It's terrifying.
Something stupid. But this episode, we get to see Little Gumshoe in person for the first time.
We do, yeah. I thought you were going to say Little Emerson. I was going to be so happy.
We've seen Little Emerson before.
Yes, but we see him
But Little
here.
Emerson is pretty on point.
He's
like, that kid has the everything about that character down.
He has the look down and like the whatevers.
He is Shy McBride as a child.
There's a funny like intro scene with young Shy McBride, and like we see that he's in love with the principal and he's getting in trouble on person. He's beating up the kid, and then it's panning, very beautiful stuff.
When he pulls the thing and sits down, and it's not a different day or a different location.
No.
It's 1 minute after he left.
Walked out and he sat down like. Yep, just the way
that sit
Emerson,
down though was the Emerson sit down. I was like, that kid's got it.
I love the thing like, well, that guy's safe now because he only has 2 eyes or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, dumb and fabulous. I actually like this a lot because it sets up Emerson looking, wanting stern, unattainable women or something like that. Now we have Simone and Lila. Yes. As his like femme fatales, ladies of interest, and all that stuff. So I like this dumb connection that they're making.
Powerful woman.
It's cool. I dig it.
It was fine by me, and like good choice of characters. I like the casting there. She's been in like everything from Cleopatra 2525 to Angel.
She's your girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know her from she was in Hercules.
Yes.
Which I didn't remember until I like looked her up. But obviously she's from Firefly and all that stuff. Zoe, want to say? Yes. So what's her name is here.
Yeah.
And I liked her thing. She's like the.
Yeah, she was fine.
Yeah, that.
I thought it would have been a nice person to see multiple times. We'll never see her again.
I mean, yeah.
Because you're not going to see her back to back in a normal season, and this is just a normal season that happens to end. So
why do you keep bringing it back to that to make me sad?
Because that's important to know.
It is.
Why I may dislike or shit on something is because I'm angry inside.
I'm lashing out, and I can't
It's
be
not
stopped.
that I'm judging this episode harshly. It's that I'm judging its placement as the second to last episode of a series harshly.
Okay.
And I know they definitely didn't know that going in because it's not. They haven't painted us down a road of closing chapter.
And it seems like we're ramping up, we're calling back, but we're rolling. The whole thing's tumbling forward. Robert Picardo is back for a bit part as like the cop in the town or whatever. I think he's been on the show before. I hope so. Otherwise, I'm just forgetting things or whatever. But if not, it's Robert Picardo making an appearance on the show. Yeah, like I said, we see David Arquette again. Gary, Randy.
Yeah, he was looking good. I thought he looked better in this episode than he did in the other episodes. Less disheveled and.
Well, he's getting together for Olive.
Yeah.
And we see the payoff here where they exchange a
You kind of
smooch
grow to hate
at the
Olive,
end.
though.
Really?
Olive is kind of a cold-hearted bitch.
Yeah, she's a stone cold.
Yeah, she's like just destroying this guy who's, for all purposes, a very nice man. Yes, he's a little creepy. He likes to, stuff dead things.
His name is Randy, and she's like, "You're right, Randy Rebound," or whatever the fuck. I'm like, "Oh no!" And then after several rounds of the whole thing, she's like, "It's working, Ned. Don't worry. Soon I'll be able to throw him away like a used Kleenex, and everything will be great." And he's like, I love you so much."
It's very sad because Because like it's weird. And
it comes around.
I think this happens in TV shows a lot more than like in reality.
In real
when
life,
you're like, I can see that person being exactly what that person needs, and like because they're painting it, they're writing it to make it all the more tragic for this poor bastard. But you see, like Olive just wants someone that cares about her, and this guy. He's falling all over her. He likes her. He's doing things for her. He's risking his safety in multiple areas here to help her.
Their little thing when she's like, not bad for a second date, and he's like, oh, this is so exciting, and like, okay, so oh, come on, honey, like let's go in the car, and they're like, oh, it's so goofy, so dumb.
Yeah.
Like you could see the network of Hardy Boys, detective agency growing, where now he's like using his taxidermy powers to help them in some way.
Always carrying a wild animal for when Ned needs to touch somebody.
Yeah, because he would eventually have learned the secret, right? And there would have been a whole thing, right?
Ned, he like rips his shirt open, and there's like it's like an alligator suit that's just wrapping around him, like quick.
But it's David Arquette screaming and freaking out while the suit attacks people.
While running naked away from the suit attack.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I liked the kiss at the end. I liked the dumb thing. Ned's kind of like egging him on, or no, egging Olive on.
Yes.
Sorry, where he says something like, maybe you're used to things being difficult, and now things that are easy and maybe great for you, you're like ignoring them. And she's like, but then takes it the totally wrong way, like we said, and all that stuff. It's a good time.
As only a TV show can do.
I love when Simone shows up and she has her clicker and she says stay, and then Emerson's like, I don't think so, and she kind of looks at it like it's broken, like wait a minute, like that was a very good moment or whatever. And the whole thing kind of gets wild. People are coming and going and trapping people and showing up and doing different stuff throughout the episode.
I've now already forgotten who played the dam owner. It was somebody famous.
Oh, right? I didn't write down his name because I thought Raleigh Stingwell is played by something Williamson or Williams or whatever.
Oh, it's gone now. But I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, brought some legitimacy, some gravitas.
Yeah, did it not seem obvious that he got taken away by water? Like
that was the whole thing. So like,
I was like, why is this blowing their minds? Like,
I kind of liked that he flipped it where he said like, I know why he ended up a half mile away, and I was like, well, duh, that's how he ended half mile away. And then he says, because he didn't have you, and and I was like, okay, nice little spin on it to be like whatever the hell. But yeah, she like plucks him over to the side. They make a great duo on their things or whatever.
No, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good team. I do think that it's a little weird, like the stashing of the thing.
Just in a hole.
Oh, this and that, can't blah blah. Like, I don't know. My last thought before I die is often not can't let my treasure go. like it would be like
you'd hold on to it harder and die with it in your arms.
I would die with it.
Sure.
Like is the thought
obscenely
process
large ruby.
Like let me hide this so no one sees it on my body? Like what do you like? I'd be like let me try to live.
In universe, it's that he doesn't want the ruby to leave the place where it was found.
That's so stupid.
Because he thinks it's a thing or whatever. I actually don't know if people do things like that in real life. I don't do things like that.
I think someone might do that if they were being chased or something like, oh, they're going to catch me and they'll take this. Better hide it. Like, or they're going to kill me.
This isn't hiding. This is like I'm going to return it from where it was.
That's just narration bullshit.
I'm gonna go back and put the gem back in the ancient thing, and then seal the tomb because it was supposed to be there or some dumb
Only
thing.
one out of 1,000 people would ever do that.
Right?
And I hate them.
And they keep making movies and TV shows about those people.
Yeah.
What about the other people? No one cares about them.
The other guys.
The other guys. The baby mama whole part was really cool. They have like a cutout exposed fetus shot at one point, which I thought was really weird.
I thought it was weird in general. Like, you knew she was kind of scamming him, but the fact that the daughter was there, already in his car.
Oh, all the way at the end.
Yeah. I was like, eh.
I liked the flashback, though, of him with the beard and, like, the different time period and all that stuff. But yeah, then we get back there. And the way she's waving, like, tauntingly, mockingly at him, I'm like...
Like, do you think the mom said wave to daddy?
Yeah,
or do you think she's just waving? Is she actually excited? Is she in on this? Is it like, haha, we scammed this
we got
dude?
you, bitch? Or is she like, like, how old was she? Like, years, right? So she must have been super young, so who knows, right? His daughter, I don't know what we're doing here. But yeah, I would really like to know, I wrote that down, like, what did Lila tell her? Like, why is she waving?
Yeah, like, or was it just like, thank daddy for the car? Thank you.
Right? Like, I don't know, but it was a whole thing. But she's alive. She's out there somewhere. His book,
published.
Is going to get published. He's so excited, and the show is over.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wonder if we can buy that book.
Oh, a little gumshoe pop-up book. That's awesome. That would be a nice thing to put on the shelf here.
Not the biggest of cliffhangers in this one.
We didn't talk too much about the case, but the case was pretty whatever.
Yeah, a person gets killed.
I like
the diamond is missing.
I like them taking the giant map and just laying it on top of the giant diagram.
I thought that was convenient. The glowing water from the chemical dump also convenient. Those lawyers were funny. There's like 3 lawyers.
Sadly, we were unable to lie, and they just explain everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a nice little shtick going there. It was fine.
Yeah. I think that's about all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the we touched on it slightly. There was an elaborate plan to entrap Lila, and she totally catches on to it, and she's opens the trunk like, "What are you, idiots?" And they come home freezing and half naked and all that stuff.
Guns get swapped and popped and disarmed.
Yeah, no, there was a whole I wrote elaborate in all caps plan to trap Lila or whatever.
Yeah, ultimately it just felt like an average scam though, toward the end when it was just like, oh yeah, person in a wig that just happened to overheard this part, and then blackmail or whatever.
Yeah.
Not blackmail, trick into thinking she did crime, heart attack.
I don't know, it wasn't outlandish enough, because has he have all those clothes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know. Depending on the thing, it can be outlandish enough that I would never question it. Of course, the guy has a crash test dummy suit that he can wear.
Yes.
That makes sense, right? But here, he just had exactly what Lila happened to be wearing that day.
Yes.
In order to do the swap-a-rooney or whatever. Was a little
Very
okay.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. And then when you don't see the face of him walking out as her, you're like, oh, it's not her. It must be someone else. And then it isn't her. It's someone else.
Yeah.
And it's one of the people they questioned who just randomly shows up.
Yeah, pretty by the book.
The glow-in-the-dark stuff makes a little thing, though. It's an element.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I guess all of those plants glow in the dark now?
For the time being.
For 2 weeks ago?
I do like the line of something like it's just water, almost exactly water, with chemicals in it.
Water with chemicals in
it.
Yeah. Don't pollute in the reservoir, kids.
All right, guys, that's this episode of Pushing Daisies. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.